It's Thursday, you know what that means. It is the TNA NXT After Show, also known as the Thursday Night Wars.
Thursday Night War.
I got it in before Mike did. That voice you heard was Mad Mike,
Hi, everybody.
who is always here.
Always. Even when I say I might not be.
He doesn't leave. Just stays in the hangout until it happens again, just so he can do that voice.
That's pretty much it.
And with us, this is your second time in a row that you're on.
I haven't been on with you guys in a long time.
I could have sworn you were on last week.
It feels like it's been forever since I've watched TNA. Also, I had no idea that Velvet Sky had gotten herself a Lita tattoo.
That
up to speed.
That person is our mainstream media guru, Mr. Matt Carlins.
Thanks for having me back. It's great to be with you.
Yay!
Before we get into the shows, we should give the listeners a little game that we've been playing, because I think I've just won it. If you have the WWE app, and Lord knows you do, and even if you don't, we're not going to be like the idiotic WWE announcers and tell you how to download it, because you're on the internet. You know how apps work. You should go to the Superstars section on the WWE app and try to find your greatest king of trios by lining up 3 superstars. They have to be next to each other in alphabetical order, but you have to find the best trio, and I think I may have just found it. Zack Ryder, Zeb Coulter, and Zeus.
So that is very strong. I have a hard time believing that that's going to beat my team of Johnny Roz, JoJo, and Jonathan Coachman.
But I also have Vacant, Vader, and Val Venus. Vacant was not only the world champion until last week.
That's right.
He is now the current IC champion.
Now, Rizz, I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Has Vacant once been in a tag team with Abeyance?
Abeyance is actually in TNA.
Okay.
So, no.
Abeyance in the Impact Zone!
Did Vacant once tag team with Shawn Michaels against Shane and Vince McMahon on pay-per-view?
That was God.
That was
God. Oh, okay, my bad.
I'm surprised he's not on the superstar list.
He should be. Because then I could line up a trios team that would just kill everything. Just give me the 2 guys on the other side of God.
All right. Before we go on a nice little tangent, what is Mad Mike's one word for NXT?
My one word for NXT. Divas.
Yeah. Matt Carlin, since you were there live.
I'll try not to be self-serving about this. I'll say Sammy.
Mine was it happened.
By the way, I looked up where God would fall if he was in the WWE Superstars lineup, and I have to say that would be the ultimate trio, because it would be Goldberg, God, and the Gobbledygooker.
You ain't beating that.
But I don't
Anyway.
I don't know if you guys felt the same way, but NXT this week felt kind of bleh.
It was a weird show. Because NXT normally tries to squeeze in as many matches as humanly possible.
Mm-hmm.
This week they had a lot of segments.
They're gearing up for something, it seems.
I'm back from the future. I saw this taping in person, and it probably slightly biases me on how good the show was, but I thought the Divas tag match was awesome, and I really liked Sammy and Justin in the main event. I thought they were awesome together.
Those two matches were good.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the stuff that's in between those matches weren't good. I mean, we did get the promo. We did get the promo of
my wife.
of my wife over and over again, and the troubles of being a male model.
Trouble.
And you got C.J. Parker.
And
Oh, I forgot we had C.J. Parker tonight.
I want to forget we had C.J. Parker.
C.J. Parker, I like his gimmick, but
he's not a good wrestler.
no, he's really not. I really want him to be a better. Like, if I could exchange the wrestling ability of Justin Gabriel and put it with C.J. Parker's character, yes, give me that version of C.J. Parker.
Like, the one thing that that most people don't get is I'm going to go on with Bo Dallas on this one. Bo Dallas was a good wrestler. And before, he had a shitty gimmick.
Yep.
And nobody knew who he was.
Yep.
He was the guy who eliminated Wade Barrett that one time.
Yep.
But now, his bad gimmick became a good gimmick because of turning him heel and making him, talk like a motivational speaker, and it.
Hey, Rizz, a motivational speaker.
That, and it turned him into something to watch, which then in turn turns him into a good wrestler. C.J. Parker does nothing of that. He has a good gimmick, and it shows that he is a bad wrestler.
Yep.
That he can't make this work. It's just me.
It's unfortunate.
But
unfortunate.
But the Divas match was good. The main event.
I'm pretty sure they've officially broken up the BFFs. It seems like.
Oh yeah, they did this whole segment about. Oh no, we're broken up now. Okay.
Girl, bye.
Yeah, girl, bye.
Yeah, it seemed kind of awkward because that's pretty much how it happened.
You know what I actually wouldn't mind if it happened on the main roster? Sasha Banks teaming with Cameron. I think I'd be okay with that because I think.
Why would you do that to Sasha Banks?
When it's time for Sasha to come up with the main roster, I would not saddle her with anyone because she has got enough to stand on her own.
She's boss.
She can do it in the ring. She can do it outside.
But if your character is going to be the boss, Sasha Banks, you need to be bossing someone around, and Cameron is fucking perfect for that.
So is Maybe Marie and JoJo and everybody else on Total Divas.
she could
married
rejects.
Actually, if she bossed around JoJo, and JoJo was like her own Virgil, that would be amazing.
That would need. Well, that wouldn't be. Huh?
No, I think that'd be awesome.
I was going to say something else,
really
but
cool.
I was going to say something else, but it's totally different now. So, besides those, Justin Gabriel, he's amazing. Like you said, Mike, if he had any charisma,
Justin Gabriel has all the personality of a wet noodle.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a reason he was in a group with 7 guys when he first got a main roster spot.
But when he was in that group, he was one of the guys who stood out and was getting over. I mean, granted, he was only based on the one single move, and then he got to be the closer for them. But still, he was one of those 2 or 3 guys who stood out.
He was the best wrestler from that group.
Yeah, he wasn't the one. He wasn't the mouthpiece for a reason.
Oh, absolutely.
Wade Barrett was the mouthpiece.
But I think it shows that, like, if Justin Gabriel was put in the right position, that he could play a role pretty well. But when he's by himself, there's just not much for him to do. Yeah.
Like, we'll get into this with TNA, but what they do with Bobby Lashley is what they should do with Justin Gabriel.
No,
somebody-
you can't do that.
Get
Spearing
him somebody to talk with.
Okay, well maybe
Somebody who
like
can talk for him.
Paul Heyman, like making Justin Gabriel a Paul Heyman guy. In fact, making that new old team of Gabriel and Tyson Kidd, making them Paul Heyman guys, that would do them a world of good.
Yes.
A lifetime of good.
You don't even have to put the pressure of them having to be Paul Heyman guys. You could put Tyson. I'll use Tyson as an example just because he kind of fits that same mold. But you could take Tyson and Justin, and you could put him with Heath Slater and do a rebuilt 3MB, and those guys would probably thrive in that situation because they would have Heath Slater there to speak for them. He would be a mouthpiece for them. Just put them in a situation where they don't have to talk, and they can let the ring speak for themselves.
Matt,
I'm not going to go that far with Tyson because I think
memories
Tyson's got
alone.
everything going.
Leave the memories alone. It still burns.
Rizz, I can't let go of the Nexus. What makes you think I'm going to forget about 3MB?
If you're gonna
good
put
point.
Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel with anyone on the main roster, bring back the Un-Americans. Put them with Lana.
That's not the
And
worst
again,
idea.
I did.
Justin Gabriel's from South Africa. Tyson Kidd's from Canada.
And I did mention this on the off air on the Hangouts. If he goes full heel, Tyson Kidd needs the crown hair.
Yes.
Just the 3 crowns on his head.
Agreed. He's had his wedding, so he doesn't have to have wedding hair anymore. He needs to go back to the full-on heel King of the Hearts look.
And also, I can feel this being the part where Tyson Kidd just goes off one time on his wife. Because during that promo with Renee Young, all the time I'm thinking, oh man, this is going to turn bad. Because every time he talked, it was, well, my wife said that it was fine.
Riz, I don't know where you got it in your head that a Canadian wrestler with a wrestling wife would ever end poorly if they start talking ill about each other. I don't know where that popped into your brain from. I don't know where that happened.
There was no wrestler from Canada who ever did that ever. I mean, Bret Hart never did anything like that.
Right now,
Never.
they're texting Jey Uso to see if Gizmo's still in the yard. That's all I'm saying.
No.
So
Gizmo's
good.
also dead, buried in the backyard.
This turned out very bad.
I hope Tyson doesn't have a flex.
So let's go before we get pulled from YouTube. Let's go back to TNA now, because let's face it, nothing really important happened besides Tyler Breeze's finger.
Yeah. By the way,
Tyson.
Rizz,
By the way, Tyler Breeze, get better. We're all pulling for you.
Rizz, can we have a moment of silence for Tyler Breeze's finger?
Yes.
Okay.
And Matt Carlins ruined it with his.
Way to go, Lawler! Way to ruin the moment of silence, Jerry.
But
Can't tell you how funny that was.
so now we do that. Let's go into TNA. See what's going on with them. Matt Carlins, I'll start with you. What is your
one word? Canada.
I like it.
As in girls from Canada.
Mad Mike.
My one word is gore.
I didn't want to steal Mike's.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is going to be a first, but happened. I'm using it twice today. Because in both shows didn't do anything.
I would argue TNA did.
I mean, TNA does have new champions.
Yep, there's a new champion. There's a new person in Dixieland.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Kurt
I mean,
Angle still sucks at talking.
well, yeah. All right, so let's run our gimmick, Rizz. Matt,
All
you're new.
right.
So we're doing one good thing about TNA, one bad thing about TNA, and one thing about TNA we would change.
Just this week. This show.
Yes.
Okay.
Like the show that we just watched.
Just this episode of Impact. All right, so Rizz, good thing.
I'll start it off. My good thing was the main event.
Okay.
It was a lot. I mean, it was predictable because they don't spoil anything last week at all. Jeff Hardy wasn't going to come back and face Bobby Lashley. But all in all,
by the way, they didn't plug at all.
No. All in all, this was a good match. And you know what? I'm just going to go on a limb and say my good is everything they're doing with Bobby Lashley. Everything.
Keeping it simple.
They're not making him talk.
Mm-hmm.
They're making MVP talk for him, which is amazing. Because he talks like a little boy.
Mm-hmm.
High-pitched and everything. So yeah, Bobby Lashley has grown on me from the first few weeks. Man, Mike, what is your good for this week?
My good for this week is Rhino. Rhino. They did spoil on their Twitter account that Rhino was going to be at the TNA New York tapings. So seeing him wasn't as much of a surprise. But him goring Bully Ray and allowing EC3 to remain undefeatable was a nice change of pace. I was pleasantly surprised by that. And Rhino always works the best when he is a heel lackey. He always works the best. It worked with Edge and Christian. It worked in ECW with the network. It works now with EC3 and Dixie talking for him. It's going to be absolutely fine. I'm actually excited for TNA next week.
Mr. Matt Carlins?
It doesn't hurt to have somebody like Rhino who can bring some legitimacy to a main event match or two, so it can only help TNA. My good thing would have to be my girl, Gail Kim, winning the Knockouts title. She's awesome. She's the most underrated women's wrestler of our generation. She deserves to have that title, as much as I know you fellas love your Angelina Love Velvet Sky pairing.
No.
Gail Kim is the truth, and her finisher is the truth, too. And I love it.
Do not group me in with the Velvet Sky and in the beautiful people realm.
And my only real concern is I'm wondering, other than once she gets done beating up the beautiful people, where she's going to go with that, because I don't see a lot of bad girls for her to fight. But
Taryn Terrell.
Oh, that's right, Taryn Terrell.
That's where they're going.
I think, as I said to you guys earlier when we were off air, that the sun shined on a squirrel's ass one time, and they're going to try to recapture that magic. But I hope they can do it. It's a lot to prove there.
I think it'll be fine. I think the New York crowd will be hot for that match.
That's good. So we got the good. So let's start with Matt Carlins. What is your bad for this week?
My bad. I'm going to try to come up with something good for you guys, but I'll only say that I was expecting a little bit more out of that tables match with Bully Ray and EC3. I was a little bit let down. I know you guys might have a little different opinion on that, but I don't know, something just wasn't ringing true for me on that one.
Yeah,
I can't really say much more. It's just kind of like an undefinable little thing that happens sometimes when you see these. Sometimes when I watch some of these TNA matches, the in-ring kind of like starts to rub me the wrong way, and that was just one of those matches where I was just kind of like, I feel like I'm watching someone laying out a wrestling match as they go along instead of trying to getting my brain to make that leap to I'm watching a legitimate competition. And sometimes when I'm watching TNA, it gets hard for my brain to make that leap, and that was one of those matches where it kind of like lost me a little bit.
I kind of agree with you on that one. It did seem like it was just, I'm going to bring this table out here and finish this match now. Okay, let's do this, and then they finished the match. It wasn't like they just did. Okay, we're gonna fake it a little bit. Just just move it over here a little bit, and then when I do this, that's when you reverse it, and then I get scared and move her out of the ring or something like that. It's just I'm gonna put this table in the ring, and the match is gonna end.
Well, I mean, but
table matches have become really problematic.
they've been doing them too much in TNA.
They've been doing them too much, and they've been doing them across all wrestling a little bit too much. And it's reached a point where it's really hard to do something.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I don't remember the last full-on tables match we had in WWE.
Maybe they got the memo and they stopped doing them, which is probably a good move on their part. But yeah, it does seem like it's being a little bit overdone. I think everything we've seen from a tables match has been done at this point.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
All right, give me one bad thing there, Rizz.
My one bad thing. It's probably going to be a recurring theme for me. But Kurt Angle needs to stop. And specifically with the whole thing with our buddy Stiffy. It was bad. There's no it seemed like they just forgot about it and just said, "Oh no, he was supposed to be there, but Kurt Angle said he wasn't, so he's not. So okay, let's just go out there and do a match." That's why the beginning of the Divas the Knockouts match, even though it was a good match, just seemed weird because we were waiting for a acknowledgement of, wait a minute, you're not that guy, you're Brian Hebner. But it just seemed, and not to mention Brian Hebner is a horrible referee. But
pretty much every referee in TNA is horrible.
Yeah. That's why they need Slick Johnson.
No, he's the worst. He's the worst.
I know. I just wanted to see you respond to that one.
They need to get Jimmy Corderas in there to whip those boys into shape. Shout out to Jimmy.
But that promo, that little backstage segment with Kurt Angle and Stiffy was just too much and too bad.
By the way, for those of you who don't watch TNA and aren't sure who Stiffy is, that's referee Scott Stifler.
It's good because he looks like a giant penis.
That he does.
But we did. What was it during the Knockouts match where Brian Hebner did the big wind up for the throw?
The wind up.
That was amazing.
The wind up.
He was like
just seemed out of place, and then he just threw him out. It was very cartoonish.
It was awesome.
Mad Mike, what is your one bad thing?
My bad thing is Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe coming out and declaring himself to be pro wrestling. The last time I looked, Samoa Joe has not represented pro wrestling since 2006. But he came out and I don't know if it's going to happen this way, but if it did and Samoa Joe spoiled the whole storyline, then what the fuck, TNA? Samoa Joe came out and basically said that, Kurt, I know you better than anyone in this company.
Wrong.
Not true. I would say that Jeff Hardy and Bubba Ray Dudley know Kurt Angle a little bit better because they've worked with him his entire career.
I don't know who either of those two guys are.
Exactly. I'm sorry, Willow and Bully Ray.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those guys. Those guys. Sorry, I got the Kize Fibe name down. But then Samoa Joe said, I know the most important thing to you is the world title. First of all, Kurt Angle's injured. We all know this. And Samoa Joe said, I know it's not long before you put yourself in a title match. Which to even mention that, there are so many things wrong with it. One, if they do that, that's the same fucking thing you just did with MVP. That is the literal exact same thing you did with MVP.
And it's not like we're just saying that because it happened in WWE. It's happened in TNA just before he came in.
Like, the only reason Bobby Lashley is the world champion is because MVP tore his meniscus, wrestling for another company which pays him better than TNA. But, just so, like, I want Samoa Joe to just take a year off, to slim down a little bit, and to remember why he likes professional wrestling. Because you can't say you are pro wrestling if you haven't pro wrestled in a month.
I want him to take a year off and then come back and tell us that he's pro wrestling. That would be perfect.
You can't say you're pro wrestling if for when you get into the ring you are already
Winded,
panting, and almost dead.
Yes, I mean, Velvet Sky was already panting when she gets in the ring, but that's for an entirely different reason.
Oh
my!
Yeah.
I do have, before we get into things we would change, I do need to mention two amazing things that we neglected to mention. One, the Freaks wrestling mask, which is cartoon Bane from Batman the Animated Series' mask, basically. And two, whoever controls the air conditioning in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to you.
Shout out, and I'm thankful you do not work for the San Antonio Spurs.
I didn't know there was enough Freon in the entire town of Bethlehem. I had no idea.
Those Amish, you know.
I think they used the floods from Johnstown to power that air conditioner.
That's right.
So, Mad Mike.
Yes.
Last question of the day. What is the one thing you change in TNA?
The one thing I would change from this week's episode, I would change. It's tough because I actually like this week's episode. I think I would change the initial reaction of Sam Shaw. I think Gunner brought Sam Shaw back, and Sam Shaw issued an apology to Mr. Anderson and to Christy Hemme. I would have had Gunner have a conversation with Kurt Angle first about, hey, Kurt, I got this guy cleared from the mental institution. Is it okay if I bring him back to work? Because it seems like that's kind of a jump. Like, this guy was stalking one of your employees and almost, like, violently assaulted her.
Mike.
But it's totes cool that he just shows up unannounced, basically.
Mike.
Yeah.
You know Kurt Angle's the Thing, right?
I'm aware of that, but see, that's why it's perfect. But that's why Kurt Angle was the one who sexually assaulted Sharmell. So Kurt would be like, yes, it's totally cool. People can change. It's fine. And that's when we go Crazy Town Banana Pants.
Yeah, we're talking about the same Kurt Angle who has stalked Raka Khan.
Yep. But that's in real life, C's.
Yeah. So I don't think they would want to do that to, bust out some memories. In the memory box.
Rizz.
Mike?
This is the same company that had Kurt Angle and Jeff Jarrett feud over their actual wife.
Yeah.
And children.
Yeah.
Not a first for either in this business.
This is the same company that had Devon bring his children out only to be lured away by the Pope D'Angelo De Niro. This is the same company that brought Brooke Hogan out for whatever reason. They are not opposed. They are not opposed to bringing up past history of actual things. The only way that the Sam Shaw gimmick would have been funnier with Christy Hemme is if instead of Sam Shaw, it was Austin Aries. That's the only way it would have been funnier.
That would have been funny.
And bonus on that, Austin Aries and Ken Anderson would have had better matches.
Yeah. Matt?
Yes.
What is your one thing you'd change about this week's TNA?
Very simple change. Going back to the tables match, I would have had EC3 put Bully Ray through that table with something better than that weak-ass low-altitude choke slam thing that he did. He needed to bust out a power driver or a power bomb or something like that and put him through it like he meant it. That was soft. That's it.
Well, all right.
EC3's got to look a little bit badass. Rhino just came back and gored Bully Ray inside out. EC3, don't let yourself get overshadowed. Bust out a power bomb or something. Just something to get Bully Ray off the ground. I know you can do it. You got muscles. I can see them. Come on, EC3. Be the man. Be Mr. Thursday Night. Don't let anyone take the spotlight from you. You are the star of that show. Don't let anyone take that stage. Rhino is 50 years old. Don't let him do that to you, EC3. Powerbomb that big man Bully Ray through that table like you mean it, man. Come on.
Matt, to go off your point,
Mm-hmm.
how much would you have popped if EC3 and Rockstar Spud did a 3D?
Right.
Wait, who does the Bully
Who's
Ray
gonna
part?
pick him up?
Who does the D1 part?
EC3 does the Bully Ray part, but Rockstar Spud catching it as Devon?
Wait, no. Devon does the lifting part.
Devon does the lifting.
Oh, right.
No,
Devon does the lifting.
I don't think Rockstar Spud possesses enough mass to do the diamond cutter part of the 3D to properly propel Bully Ray through the table. I think Bully would have bounced off the top of the table if Rockstar Spud tried to pull.
All you have to do is catch. All you have to do is catch.
But to my point, Mike, an even better idea, because not only does EC3 look like a badass, but now even Rockstar Spud looks good. And God forbid Rockstar Spud look like anything near competent inside a wrestling ring.
Rockstar Spud looks awesome.
He always looks
Have you
good.
seen that suit?
We say this every week. For those of you who do not watch Impact and just watch us, 1, thank you. 2, just find the clips of Impact with Rockstar Spud and just look at his suits. I need someone to make a GIF of Rockstar Spud's suits. I don't care if the GIF is 20 minutes long. I will sit there and watch the whole thing. I just need a GIF of every one of his suits.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to see a wardrobe exchange program with Rockstar Spud and Don Cherry. I want to see them trading suit coats.
Or at least a minimalist drawing. like you see those little random drawings side by side. Just how many suits he's had and just the pattern.
That's fine.
That's it.
I will also accept that. And by the way, I don't know much about Don Cherry. Rockstar Spud puts him to shame.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don Cherry can bring the thunder, man. That's all I'll say about that.
Matt, at Slammiversary, Rockstar Spud was wearing a Batman the Animated Series Joker tux.
I believe you. I'm telling you, it's a competition. We're gonna see what we can do about this.
All right. So,
Rizz,
what's one?
change.
Yes.
Well, I was kind of upset that Mad Mike had to say, but the thing before he said what his was, because they need to change that mask.
No.
No. The Bane thing is okay. I like the eyes. The eyes are good, but there were no I know I'm nitpicking, but it was a full body gimp mask.
Yeah, it was.
There were no holes in the nose, and it made me wonder where he was breathing in.
He's eventually going to pass out from exhaustion. It's going to be great.
And he either that or he's going to remove the mask and show that he is actually, that whatever
that guy that we can't recognize. That guy who definitely didn't go by the name of the Freak.
Rob Terry, who had...
No, we do not say Rob Terry, Rizz. We do not. I thought we went over this. That
Robbie
is the
T.
Freak. Yes. Okay. I'll
Robbie
take that.
T.
I'll accept that.
There is no
No,
Rob Terry.
wait. Not Robbie T. That's too obvious. How about R. Terry? R.
Yeah.
Terry. Okay.
All right, I'll go with R. Terry. But
Okay.
still, it just looked too comedic. Like, it just looked too bad for me to like it. And like I turned off NXT, saw the way he was wearing, and went right back to NXT.
To be fair, I told you to go look at his mask.
You did, and
I did.
you
It was great.
you owe me.
It was great.
You owe me for that one.
All right, fine. Well, you're not gonna be around in 2 weeks, so
Yeah,
there.
but at least have because he didn't need the full body, the full head mask. He could have just had the half.
He's a carny. He's a carny. That's the point.
Crazy Steve is also a carny.
Yeah, but he's the clown.
Mm.
Like, the only way Rob Terry's mask or the Freak's mask could have been better is if it had
Rob Terry.
is if it had a cartoony mustache on it.
Yes, that would be great, because it would hide the nose where the nose is, and you can breathe through it. But this didn't have anything. And it scared me because I was afraid for his safety. But other than that, TNA actually did win for me.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Barely.
As much as I liked the Divas tag match, and I wanted to see a blow up in the ring of the BFFs. I didn't want to see it backstage. I wanted to see it in the ring.
And also the appearance of Matt and Jen Carlins is in the crowd.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm biased. I could see into the future when it comes to NXT, and I'll give the night to NXT because I was there.
That's fine.
So that means
I do have one question
coming up. We have to have a kick out.
Yes. I have one question for you guys before we sign off here, though. Now, the TNA had backstage segment where Nux was very unhappy that they weren't winning matches, therefore winning money to keep their carnival alive. If you had your druthers and could pick any free agent in wrestling, who would you have be the loan shark that they are owing money to?
Oh.
Kizarny.
Okay.
Shane McMahon.
Okay. All right. I like that. I'm going to go the complete opposite direction, and I'm going to say Mini Boogeyman.
No. You went specific on that one.
But not like as Mini Boogeyman, just that wrestler. Because I want so badly to see the visual of huge giant Nux and huge giant the Freak being slapped down by a guy who's like 3 foot nothing saying, "Where's my money?" I need it. I need it in my life. I need it.
So,
I got a preview of it in the movie Bubble Boy. I need it on Impact. I need it on Impact so badly.
I was going to say it was.
Boy.
Yeah.
I think we're spiraling out of control.
I was going to say it was more like Peter Dinklage and Elf.
No. In the movie Bubble Boy, Vern Troyer actually manages a group of freaks.
Oh yeah, that is right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I need that on Impact. I need that so badly.
So, who do you guys?
Oh no! Better than that. Better than Mini Boogeyman. Friend of the show, Puppet.
No, he
can call Nux an asshole.
He is not a friend of the show.
He is a friend of the show.
He is a friend of the show.
I didn't say he wasn't a dick, but he is a friend of the show.
Oh, thank you guys for joining us here on the TNA NXT After Show, aka Thursday Night Wars. If you are interested in anything we just talked about, the Wrestling Mayhem Show proper is on at round about 9 o'clock every Tuesday at live.sorgatronmedia.com. Also stand by for the Indie Mayhem Show around roundabouts 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And also, if you like, we have a full plethora of stuff to talk about: video games, tech,
Good word.
movies. I know, I do a lot of things like that.
Would you say I have a plethora?
Plethora.
Plethora.
Plethora. We have a jumble of awesome things for you to do.
We have
for the
a
Wrestling Mayhem
plethora
Show.
of pretty podcasts.
Wow, alliteration. So if you're into video games, if you're into movies, if you're into awesome things like tech, please, we start the fun here around 4:30. Please support Matt. Please support Mr. Sorg. Please support us. And also the Patreon. Even if you want to support us, do the Patreon. I forget what I would think. I think it's patreon.com/WMS.
Yes.
Yes.
I believe so. For just $1 an episode,
For $1, you can
literally tell us what to do.
and we will do it.
If you want us to say your name here is the best lover in the world at the start of every Wrestling Mayhem show, we will do it. Because you know what? Ladies listen to this show. They'll hear that and they'll be like, wow, I need to get myself some of that. Or if you're a girl, a lot of guys listen to this show. You know, you can get on that. It'd be great.
You know, like Sausage Fest.
Yeah.
But also, like, if you want us to say TNA is the best show ever made, and everybody who says it's different is a WWE mark, we will say that for $1.
Uh-huh. If you want us to say Rubber Baby Buggy Bumpers as Arnold Schwarzenegger impressions, we will do it.
We will do a lot of things for $1.
I'd buy that for $1.
We would really like $1.
It's
but
like, what would you do for a Klondike bar? But $1 is way less of a cost than a Klondike bar.
Is it?
I think so.
Anyways, join us every Tuesday, like I said, and every Thursday when we do this show here, and every Monday when we do the Brawl wrap up, which most of us are on. Other than that, for Mad Mike, for Mr. Matt Carlins, I am
Can I do it? Can I do it? Can I do it? Hey, Rizz.
the Rizz.
You're out of here.
Mayhem out.